welcome to the second video that I'm making. Again, the month of August, I'm really focusing on my health and wellness, and I'm making some flows up as I continue my yoga teacher training, and just these are flows that through my experience of yoga and what I'm learning, and what I like, my body is, and my mind, probably mainly what my mind is just craving. So this is going to be a quick flow. I want to focus on strengthening. So it's primarily going to be like legs and some arms and core strengthening, but also within yoga, you're going to be getting the stretching and the creation of space within the body. And this is Padme. She's one of the dogs, and I am rover sitting currently. The two boys are outside, and hopefully they won't bark, but can't promise anything. Okay, so to begin, I'm just going to kind of start with some full body breathing. And that's just when you breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. And when you breathe in to pull your breath down into your belly, which, or the bottom of your lungs. So, but you're imagining that the breath is going all the way down to the bottom of your belly, and holding that, and then gently releasing it. So the count that I breathe in and the count that I breathe out is going to be the same. I'll probably do like 5 in and 5 out. But I'm just gonna do that for about a minute just to get myself kind of centered and ready to do the flow, and not thinking about all of the chores that I have to do around the house, or the bills that I have to pay, or my lack of a sex life. So just kidding. But seriously, this is my time to just give my body and mind a lot of love, so I want to be here right now. Okay. So if you want to do it along, feel free to get into a comfortable seated position wherever you are, and you can even do it like Padme is doing, just like on your back. But I'm gonna breathe in for 5, hold, and breathe out for 5, hold. Do that about 5 times. focusing on breathing like that, it makes you feel like you're high. In a good way, in a very controllable way, in a very calming way, in a very, because sometimes I think if you have ever gotten high off of marijuana, sometimes you could feel a little out of control, but you are very here, which some people, that might be why they feel out of control. But when you breathe like that, you have that weight. Like when you get high, you have a weight that kind of just drops off, like all the shit that you were caring about that's so little, you don't care about it anymore. I'm high, I don't even care. But you do have that inner kind of monologue of like, oh my god, I'm very high, this is weird. Like sometimes, some people do, but that just breathing, that conscious breathing gives you that kind of release, but you're still very much here. There's not that loss of control mentally. So that's cool. You don't have to depend on anything else to calm you down when you have your breath. Okay, so I'm gonna move into just we'll do some stretches on the ground and some strengthening again. I have a thick lower body, and what happens is if I don't keep up on it when it comes to like toning and strengthening, it gets very like jello-y and like moves around a lot, which is like, I love my body in all of the different phases and shapes and forms, like as you should too. Our bodies should go through different stages of where they're at, especially women, especially because we have a menstrual cycle. But I want to keep up with the body, because obviously the stronger your muscles, the less on your joints, because your muscles can be engaged while you just do your activity. So it's important if you just want mobility and you want to be able to like jog when you're 99. Okay, so let's start. Seated, I'm gonna push the fleshy parts of my butt away. And I'm just gonna come down and I'm gonna grab my feet or ankles or knees, wherever you're at. I always like to move around a little bit when I'm coming into one of the first asanas that I do, kind of feel where my body is at. Try to remain with a straight back. I don't even know. I'm kind of hunched, I can feel it. And come up. I'm going to come down on my back. I hope that you can see everything without me here. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly release my back with some windshield wiper kind of movement. Anytime, I don't know if anyone has a dog, but anytime you get on the floor, dogs are very intrigued by, why are you on the floor? This is like where I am, why are you here? So they very much want to be included in that. I'm gonna bring my right knee up to my chest, and I'm gonna hold on to it with my hands. And then I'm gonna open it up into half happy baby. And that's just kind of where you put you kick your foot up and you want to kind of press your knee kind of closer to your armpit. And you hold your hand on the outside of your foot. Then you could play with it a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the big toe with peace fingers, and I'm gonna extend my leg And I'm gonna bring it off to the side, and my God, does this feel good. Bring it up, straight, so with my peace fingers. And I'll let it go, I'll bend the knee to bring it back in to my chest, and then I'll bring it out straight. One of the coolest parts about yoga is when you do something on one side that helps to kind of stretch you out and you could actually feel the lengthening. So let's do it on the other side so we're not just long on the right. So I'll bring my left leg up, pull it in to my chest, wrap my arms or my hands around my shin. And we'll go into half happy baby. And this you'll be able to see knee lined in armpit, hand on the outside of my left foot. Wiggling it a little bit, just moving around a little bit. If you want to engage your abs a little bit more, you can lift your right leg. But I'm just gonna keep it down on the floor for now. I'm gonna grab peace fingers, I'm gonna straighten my leg, and I'm gonna bring it out to this side. It feels so good to stretch. I'm gonna bring it up. Keep the peace fingers on the toe. I'm gonna release them, and I'll bring my leg back into my chest, and then I'll bring my left foot to meet the right. Oh, that feels so nice. So now I'm gonna bring both feet up to be flat on the mat, relatively close to my buns, relatively close to my butt. So about here, and I'm going to breathe in, and on the exhale, I'm gonna push up, and I'm going to engage my glutes, and I'm going to engage my quads, and I'm also going to engage my hamstrings a little bit. And if you want, what you can do is adjust your shoulders to kind of come under a little bit more, and you can grasp your hands and kind of bind them behind your back. Make sure that you're touching your palms together. If you can't, just practice bringing your arms under, but you anytime that you have your hands together like that, you want to have your palms together. It'll protect your other joints. Have space in your neck, and we're just going to hold. And this can hurt, but it's also strengthening. It's funny how in life things happen that strengthen us, and we don't, when we're going through them, it just feels like pain. And it's only after we're done with the experience that we can kind of look back and really recognize, wow, like I am a much stronger person having experienced that. I'm lifting up a little bit higher, And now I'm gonna release. Breathe in. And vertebrae by vertebrae, come down. Ooh, I feel that. I feel that. Feels good. All right, we're gonna do that one more time, and we're gonna hold it the same exact way. It's always nice to have some deep breaths and let out air when you're going through a flow to kind of just relieve some tension, relieve some stress. So I'm gonna breathe in. And on the exhale, I'm going to rise. And just like before, I'm gonna clasp my hands in the opposite thumb on top. There's the dog's barking. And I'm gonna hold it for 5 breaths. If your booty is shaking, it means it's working. If you are experiencing pinching or pain, let go, come out of it. For this last breath, I'm gonna come up a little bit higher. And release. I'm gonna come, bring both of my knees into my chest and just kind of do a little lower back massage on the mat. It feels good. And you may feel that, especially in the buns and the split. We kind of wanted. So now we're gonna do some boat pose. Boat pose is really, really wonderful for strengthening your core. I remember learning about kind of arm poses, arm balancing poses, and just how important it is to have control of your core. Your core can, if you have a strong core, you can do anything in yoga, in life. But really and truly, everything about our body is generated, like the energy and the strength is generated from our core, because these are just appendages off of it, our arms and our legs, but this is kind of running everything and making sure that it's all flowing right. And then our brains are controlling it in a sense of like telling it what to do. But we got to keep this guy strong. Okay, so there's a couple different variations of boat that you can do. We're gonna bring our feet to the mat, flat on the mat, and then what you can do is just take your toes and point them and hold them, and we're gonna come back to a point where you can feel your abs engage, and then just hold it here. If you want to go a little farther, you can pick up your legs and bring your shins parallel to the mat. And you can still keep your hands here, or you can keep your hands up. If you want to go a little farther, you can actually extend the legs out, put them together. And if you want to go even farther, you could bring your arms up. Three breaths. Okay, now hold it. What we're gonna do is we're going to come down just to hover but don't let your feet drop and don't let your head drop. And we're gonna come back up. Let's do that 5 times. Okay, I'm gonna bring my feet to the mat. I'm just gonna do a simple twist. Okay, so I'm sweating, I don't know about you. And that's what's like, I always say this because I have some friends who are very disciplined in the sense that they go to the gym every day or at least 5 days out of the week, and they're there for 2 hours and they're very much like, this is, I have to put in this time and this energy and this and that. You can take very simple moves and positions of your body, and you can engage your muscles and hold it. You don't have to be lifting 400 pounds. You can really strengthen your body with just what you have. You can calm your body with your breath. You can strengthen your body with just the movement, and you can work up a sweat. And look, I didn't even like get off the ground, but whatever. To each their own. I respect any and all body practices that anyone has, but sometimes I think they're putting in a lot of work. They don't have to put in that much work. But again, if it gives them some like therapy and it gives them some, that it's beautiful, and that's their own practice, and that's wonderful. But I like to get more bang for my buck. So not as much time with as much, with as many results that you get. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna move the flesh again. I'm going to place my hands right around where the middle of my shins, if not a little farther back. And I'm going to kind of lean over a little bit, again with a flat back, and I'm going to lift my legs. Now, it may look easy, and then you try it, you're like, damn. And yes, it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be damn. So, I'm gonna do this 10 times. I hope that I'm not crying, but you try it with me. Let's try to do it. Okay. Lifting and putting back down, lifting. Okay. And breathing, always. Okay. And as you can see, like, I had to lean back a little bit more just to get the leverage that I needed. So where you place it, you'll feel what you can do and where it should be. I'm gonna do one last lift. I'm gonna hold it. Legs are shaking. Okay, cool. I'm gonna shake up the legs. All right. Let us, you can get up in many different ways. There's no right way to do yoga. Just know that. People say, oh, that's not the way that you're supposed to be aligned in the pose. Your body is the way that it's supposed to be in that pose right now, where your body is in that pose. There's no right way. So there is a way to prevent injury, and there is a way to keep your body safe, but there's no right way to do yoga. It's an individual practice. So I'm just going to come into like a little squat. This is Malasana, yogi squat. Feels very, very good. A lot of times when I'm doing work around the house, I'll be in this. If I have to like be cleaning floors or stuff like that, I'll get into a Malasana and just kind of rock. And then this kind of keeps me from having lower back pain. If you have this in your practice, you can bring it in and maybe go into crow pose. Crow pose is always fun, strengthening for the arms. Ooh, I forgot. I have a continuous blood glucose monitor now, so I don't want to be tugging on that. So I just have to be conscious of where I'm putting my knees. But usually you want to put it right in the middle of your arm. Which I can't really do, just because that's exactly where the monitor is. But feel free to hang out and do any type of pose. Balancing poses are so fun. Sometimes you can just balance right on the tops of your elbows a little bit as well. She's looking at me like, what are you doing? Okay, so we could come up. Oh, I like to just welcome myself into a standing position. Okay, so let's continue with our strengthening and we'll do some legs, some more leg stuff. So we'll do a little sun salutation in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Into halfway lift. Flat back. Come down into chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Pedal up the feet. The legs. Pedal up the legs with the feet. And then let's lift up our right leg. We're going to bend the knee and we're going to open up to the side. This feels so good. And you want your knee pointed up. Now we're going to come back and we're going to bring the leg through and we're going to come up into warrior one. So did you see how I turned my foot to kind of point either out or at a little bit of an angle? But you want your front heel to kind of be aligned to the middle of your back foot. So that's proper alignment in a way, again, just not to risk any injury. So then we're going to come into warrior two. Now we're going to come up. Ooh. And now from here, if you want, you can bind. You can bind by bringing your hand behind you, and then your other hand through your legs, and you can grasp. And you just want to keep your chest open. And look up if you can. And then another thing from here, you could do bird of paradise, which is just so fun. I haven't done it in a few weeks, so I'll probably fall, so I'll show you. But you're gonna inch your back leg in, and then what you're gonna do is take your right leg, and you wanna find a focal point on the ground, and you're gonna lift up. And then you're gonna strengthen your leg. Again, I have not done this in a while, which who cares? Who cares at all? I don't care. Come back down. Unbind. Come back up to warrior one. Oh, wow. Then you can reverse your warrior. Ooh. Straighten your leg. Sorry for all of the grunting and groaning. It's what happens when you don't do yoga for a little bit. And then you can come back down with a straight leg and frame your foot. And as you are in this asana, push your right hip kind of back and pull your left hip forward. And lift up. We could step to the front. And you guessed it, we'll do the same on the left leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Downward facing dog. We're gonna lift the left leg, bend the knee, open up the hip, and have the knee facing up. And then we'll bring it back and through. And the same, you pivot the foot, come up into warrior one. Whew. Should have put my hair up, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna come forward, open up to the side, and the same, I'm gonna bring my hand behind me and under for a bind. Most of the time when I do this, my shoulders crack and it feels amazing. Again, you could stay here, or you could fuck with Bird of Paradise, which is, again, it's just fun because once you get Bird of Paradise, you always want to do it. Ooh. Okay, I come back up into, ooh, my quads are burning, into warrior one. I'm gonna reverse my warrior. I'm gonna straighten my leg. You could bring your back leg in a little bit. I'm gonna come down and frame my front foot. I really do hope that you're sweating if you're doing this with me, because I am definitely sweating. Now let us do a wide-legged fold. And you can do this anyway. When you bring your legs out, kind of cock your heels out a little bit so your toes point just the slightest bit in, or they can point straight ahead, but that's kind of where we want the alignment for this fold. And you're gonna hinge from your hips, and you can either just go down, put your hands on the ground. Again, you can clasp your
hands behind your back with the palms touching like we talked about before. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hinging from the hips and then coming down. This is just such a load off of life. On the exhale, we'll come up. Gosh, it like makes the neck feel wonderful as well. Okay, now we're going to take our feet and we're going to bring them out. Kind of to the corners of our mat. So they were kind of cocked in, now we're gonna just bring them out. And we're gonna come down into a squat, just to wherever you feel like, okay, this is where I can hold it. This is where I can hold it. You can come down as low as you want, but we're gonna hold it for 5 breaths. Now you could put your hands at your heart. You could put your hands out in kind of a field goal position. Let's do 5 breaths. If you don't feel anything, go deeper. Maybe come up. Oh, baby. Okay, and then come in. We could kind of just move around. I love doing body rolls. I did this yoga challenge group with a bunch of girlfriends in the past, and the one girl in it, she did body rolls as a part of her practice, and I had never done that before, except like in cheerleading we would do like body rolls as a part of dances and stuff, but I was like, oh my god, I love this. So basically, if you want to practice body rolls, you can always go against a wall, and that will help you kind of understand how to move your body. But whether you start from your head or your toes, you're going to bring your neck and chest up, and then as if there's water running down, you're going to kind of move your body in the same way. And this just helps release your spine a little bit, and it just feels like a lovely thing to do to kind of realign. So let's do a couple of those. And then we could reverse it. You could, I mean, I can hear it. I can hear the different vertebrae as they move. And it just keeps your synovial fluid going, and you could just even simply move like this as if you're hula hooping. You know, when you're a kid, you move so much in so different ways and you don't even think about it. And that's why you can do anything when you're a kid. You can do a handstand easily, you could do cartwheels, you can run around, and usually at that point too, your torso and lower body are the same weight, so, or similar. But you just have so much more mobility because you're moving your body in ways. As we become older in the United States, at least, we tend to get jobs that keep us in the same position for hours at a time. It's insane. Okay, so that was a lot of leg strengthening and everything. Now, what I mainly want to do for the arms and core is just do some planks, and we'll play with the variation of that. So let's come down. What I'm gonna do is, this is kind of something you can do as a workout as well, on its own, but I like to do the taps, like where you
kind of tap like that. And then I like to come down and then come back up. So let's start off. We'll do 5 taps and then 5 up and downs, okay? Let's do it. And then just hold it. You can drop your knees. And then let's come into kind of a prayer pose. What we'll do is extend our hands out in front of us, and then have our knees on the ground with our booties up in the air. I know this looks like a very compromising position, but it's fine. And then bring your forehead to the mat, and you'll feel the expansion in your shoulders. And then you can take your hands and clasp them, or not clasp them, just put them in prayer, and then bring it up to the back of your head and breathe. You want to try to get your chest as close to the mat as you can. All right, we'll release our hand. Oh, you heard those. We can come into a seated position. And then as always, I like to do my mantra. So please join me in whatever mantra you have. Namaste. All right, guys, I really hope that you feel the strength of the energy that we just put into our bodies, because I'm very sweaty. Thank you so much. See you soon.